How did the White House decide that it is appropriate for Jared Kushner to be working on matters that involve Qatar, the UAE, and Saudi Arabia, three countries that combined have given him more than $2.5 billion for his investment firm?
I think it's, frankly, despicable that you're trying to suggest that it's inappropriate.
Once again, Trump's press secretary showcased the art of deflection when asked how White House justified Jared Kushner working on matters involving Qatar and UAE and Saudi Arabia, given that he is made billions from those very countries. Her response said more in what it avoided than in what it answered.
I think it's, frankly, despicable that you're trying to suggest that it's inappropriate for Jared Kushner, who is widely respected around the world and has great trust in relationships with these critical partners in these countries, to strike a 20-point comprehensive detailed peace plan that no other administration would ever be able to achieve. And so Jared is donating his energy and his time to our government, to the President of the United States, to secure world peace. And that is a very noble.
Whether you call it a conflict of interest, gift, or outright corruption, that's Trump brand and his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, knows it well. During Trump's first term, Kushner worked closely with the Middle Eastern countries, including Saudi Arabia. After Trump left office, Jared Kushner brokered a deal with Saudi Arabia, securing a $2 billion investment in his personal firm. Affinity partners, raising major red flags at the time. First, forward, the Trump is not even pretending to distance himself from profiting of his name. From Trump media to crypto venture, the pattern continues, invoking Kushner as well. In fact, around the same time it was announced that Kushner would now the part of the negotiation to broker a desperately needed ceasefire in Gaza. There was an announcement that Jared Kushner brokered the sale of EA, the massive gaming company, partially to Saudi Arabia. This buyout is huge, 55 billion, and requires regulatory approval since it involves a foreign government. So that, do you believe Trump would not approve a deal that personally enriches his son-in-law? This is blatant corruption. We typically do not want foreign countries buying up critical companies without strict government oversight to ensure security. EA is a gaming company that handles vast amount of user data, much like TikTok. If Saudi Arabia gains control, they could access enormous amount of Americans' data. Yet, will anyone in Trump administration raise concern about conflict of interest or national security? Highly doubtful. At the same time, Trump is pushing a deal to left pro-Trump billionaire like Larry Ellison and Merrick Edison by TikTok. Ellison has openly supported Trump, and Netanyahu recently called the TikTok sale the most important thing. So does Trump actually care about protecting American data or ensuring democratic oversight of algorithm? Of course not. This is the level of grift we are dealing with. Some might say this is just how the rich and powerful operate, but Trump take it to an unprecedented level. Maybe this is blatant disregarded for national security and public interest. Selling of TikTok and EA, both involving American data. We finally speak pushback. None of this is about proper oversight of the American people's safety. It's about Trump, his family, and his allies making money, possibly manipulating algorithms for their own benefits. This is level of corruption rarely seen in modern American history.
Does it matter who owns the games, the video games that you play? Well, the video game giant Electronic Arts, or EA, known for The Sims, FC, Madden and Battlefield, is going private in a $55 billion deal led by Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, private equity firm Silver Lake and Jared Kushner's company Affinity Partners. Why does it matter? Well, Kushner is President Trump's son-in-law, and he founded his company shortly after leaving Washington in Trump's first term. He's received significant backing from sovereign wealth funds in the Gulf. The deal is another major step in Saudi Arabia's plan to diversify its economy away from oil, so it's investing heavily in sports and gaming, infrastructure and tourism. But human rights groups such as Amnesty International have accused Saudi Arabia of sports washing. That is using sports-related investments to distract people from its human rights record, a charge downplayed by the Saudi leadership. The transaction is set to close in the first quarter of fiscal 2027, though it does still have to go through regulatory and shareholder approval. If it does go ahead, it'll be the biggest leveraged buyout in history.
Karoline Leavitt seems genuinely offended that we do not view Jared Kushner as an essential negotiator in Gaza and that we are unwilling to overlook his obvious conflicts of interest. Maybe that's because we have not forgotten his controversial remark about Gaza, how he described it as having expensive beachfront property and suggests that Israel should ethnically cleanse the area by relocating its people to another part of Israel so Israel could finish the job and clean things up. Given that he is not someone I believe should be at the negotiating table at all, especially if we truly want lasting peace and security for everyone involved.
That is appropriate, President Trump, that a president in office should be engaged in so much business activity.
Well, I'm really not. My kids are running the business. I'm here. You know what the activity, where are you from?
I'm from the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, Paul Corners.
Well, the Australians, you're hurting Australia, right? In my opinion, you are hurting Australia very much right now. And they want to get along with me. You know, your leader is coming over to see me very soon. I'm going to tell him about you. You set a very bad tone. Go ahead, John. You can set a nicer tone.
An Australian reporter asked Trump a straightforward question: why are you making money off being president? The truth is, Trump and his son are involved in so many deals that blatantly violate conflicts of interest rules. Instead of addressing the concern, Trump got offended and threatened to punish Australia with tariffs, as if his personal egos matter more than the American economy and the American people. And frankly, it does. This shows just how thin-skinned he is. He does not care about MAGA, his voter, or American jobs. He does not like the question. Then there's the new Trump RX deal he announced with Pfizer, which involves selling drugs under his brand while lowering drug price is something Democrats have worked on for years and could benefit the public. Trump had to slap his name on it. This is not just about ego, it's about branding. His name is his currency, and the more he puts on something, the more value he can squeeze out of it. It's the ultimate grip. The real question is not whether Pfizer made a deal with Trump. It's whether they made a deal with American people. His name should not be involved at all. But by attaching his brand, he boosts his ability to profit when he develops free projects, building golf courses, and sells stakes in his business. So when the Australian reporter asked a simple, honest question, Trump did not have a real answer. Instead, he reverted to bully mood and resorted to threats because he knows what he is doing is corrupt.